Alright guys, today's video is just kind of like an internal look at the Bauer cordless angle grinder and the Milwaukee fuel brushless angle grinder. So this one is model 1761C-B and this Milwaukee is model 2780-20. I know these are completely different technologies, but just wanted to show you kind of an inside look, see how they're made. So you can see the plastic, the markings on the plastic right there. That's PA6 glass fiber reinforced 30%. There's the brushes right there. Looks like it's got a nice heavy duty copper wire that's connecting the brush. I'll pull that out in a second. You can see it. This is the trigger switch right here. This white bar actually runs up to the switch on top there. That's what's going to activate the switch. The switch has a bellow on it, which is good. Keeps the dust out of the switch. Wires run down here, go all the way down here to the circuit board, which is right on top of the battery. One thing I do notice though is when they were assembling this, it looks like they didn't have a wire stuffed all the way down there, so the actual other part of the case pinched the wire right there, so you can see how it's flat. The solder joints look pretty good. The circuit board does appear to have some type of light coating on it to prevent short circuits from dust and whatnot. It is not completely epoxy coated, which you will see on the Milwaukee here in a second. Let's take a look at this switch here. So one thing I did notice on the switch, the wires connecting to the switch are tinned, but they do not have like a connector, terminal connector, which would be nice to see on there. The switch is a brand name. Not familiar with the brand, but it does have a name on it. Let's see if I can see it. Looks like it says JIABEN. I don't know if that's a good name or not. Somebody maybe chime in on the comments and let us know. And then let's take a look at these brushes here. See if I can pop this out. So this right here is the spring that keeps tension on the brush. I'm just going to move that aside. Try to do it one-handed here. Okay, so that's the brush. As you can see, I just got this thing, so it hasn't been used a whole lot. But it does have a very nice copper cable that goes to the spade terminal here. That's nice to see. So let's go ahead and pull the other half of this case off. Pull these wires out. So this is where your battery connects at, and you can see that's the wire that was crushed by the case. So you can kind of see in the light here, the circuit board does have a light coating of something. I'm not too familiar with this stuff totally. Doesn't look too bad inside though. Just really basic. I'll take apart the gearbox and show you guys inside of that after I get done with the Milwaukee here. So the Milwaukee, like I said, completely different technology. It's brushless. One thing I did notice though, compared to the Bauer, there's no bellows on the switch, and you can see the switch gets a lot of dirt around it, so I don't know if that's going to be an issue later on. It looks like they have a coating on different open electrical spots on the back of this brushless motor here. Big aluminum, maybe a heat sink, not too sure. And then if you look at where their battery connects at here, that's actually completely epoxy coated. So those wires going down into there, there's a circuit board inside of there, but it's been completely sealed off. So let me tear off these heads here, and you guys can see the gears, the different type of grease that are in each of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the Bauer, this little gearbox setup here, so you can take a look at the gear. And this is just a T20. Looks like the screws have a blue Loctite on it. There's a normal washer with a split lock washer in front of that. Okay, so there's a white grease in there. Not too familiar with the type of grease it is. That is the gear right there. Doesn't look too bad. There isn't a gasket on this thing. And then, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's just a tiny bit of play in there. Doesn't look too bad. And if you look inside of there, there's actual roller bearings that this shaft right here rides on, which that is really nice to see. Let's feel what this grease feels like. So it's just a really light grease. I don't know if that's like a lithium or what that is exactly, but yeah, seeing those roller bearings in there though, that's really nice. So not too bad on that. Throw that back together. And then this little thing right there, that's just the push button. That push button finds its way into one of those holes, and that's how you end up taking the wheel off, or whatever type of grinding accessory you have. It just fits on there. Whoops. I'll put that back after. Okay, so the Milwaukee now. Doesn't appear to be any Loctite on there. There's just one split ring lock washer for this. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So, whereas on the Bauer, you had roller bearings inside of here, this actually is using like an oil light bushing. So the Bauer is actually better as far as that goes. Not sure how much that really matters, but I know roller bearings are better than an oil light bushing usually. So the grease on this, it's a different color. It's actually a lot thicker than the Bauer also. Machining looks nice in here. And then let's take a look at this. So there is actually a gasket on this one, or an O-ring. But the gear looks good. So yeah, that's just some of the comparisons. I'm going to do a video showing these two grinders head to head. One of the main questions I see online is the Bauer shuts off whenever you put any type of pressure on it. So I want to show you guys a comparison showing the amount of pressure you can put on the Bauer before it turns off and the amount of pressure you can put on the Milwaukee before it turns off. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any video suggestions, post it down in the comments below and I'll try to make one. Thanks.